Angeba Sojola here. In this video, we'll be particularly looking at a concept that has the potential to industrialize townships, particularly Soweto, right? This concept or this idea also has the potential to assist communities within these townships to have the ability for them to protect their food security, right? It also has the potential to reduce unemployment within the confined spaces of the township, right? This concept or this idea is basically known as aquaculture, right? Now, aquaculture is basically a water-based technology, right? That is fundamentally a controlled uh, process of cultivating aquatic organisms, right? Especially for human consumption. It is fundamentally growing and breeding, right, seafood in an controlled environment. Now, aquaculture can be done in various places, right? Number one, it can be done out at sea, close to the shoreline, right? It can be done in places like ponds or rivers or lakes, right? If you, let's say, you are looking for fresh water produce, right? But in this video, we'll be particularly looking at the technology that is deployed on land in regards to aquaculture, right? Now, when we look at the technology that is deployed to culture systems that are based on land, right? They fundamentally use a system known as a RAS system, right? Which stands for Recirculating Aquaculture System, right? Which is basically made of a number of components. The first one would be the fish tanks where the fish or the aquatic organisms are grown, right? Then you would need something that will help you remove solid waste, which is known as solid waste removal, right? This is for to deal with the feces of the fish, right? And you would need something called a biofilter, right? To basically break down the urine of the fish. Basically, these two things deal with the ammonia that the fish releases in the form of fish waste and ammonium, right? Which are basically the waste products which come from the fish that might be grown in the system, right? And the system would need an air pump, right, to make sure that whatever fish that you are growing in the system, right, basically has enough oxygen for them to be able to grow healthy, right? And you would need a water pump, right? A water pump in this case helps the system to circulate the water, right, in such a way that you can uh, use the same amount of water after they've been treated, after the solid waste removal and biofilter, right? So now the way the system works is that you first start off by feeding your fish, right? So you feed the fish feed, the fish consumes um, the fish feed and then takes up the protein to grow bigger, right? And then it releases waste in the form of feces and urine, right? Now, when after the waste has been released, then the biofilter and the solid waste kicks in, right? To purify the water and remove the waste that might have been released by the fish. Now, this waste is removed from the system, right? And can be fundamentally used as a fertilizer on other crops like spinach that is planted in soil and etc. and any other. So fish waste is one of the best fertilizers one can find in the market. I would say quite in terms of quality, right, of the fertilizer, it equates about, I think I'd say, rabbit waste, right? That's how good and potent fish waste is.